When looking at the current housing market, there's good news and there's bad news. And to get to the bottom of it, we have to look at a few things. First, mortgage rates are on the rise. In fact, they are the highest that they have been in 20 years. And the number of homes selling is significantly less than we have seen over the past few years. But there is also data showing that home prices are expected to rise for the rest of the year. And buyers right now are finding themselves up against multiple offer situations again. And there are some other warnings popping up about different issues that are actually having an effect on the real estate market as a whole. Now, depending on if you're a buyer or a seller, this will determine whether you think it's good news or bad news. But stick with me for the next few minutes because we are going to talk about it all. Now, some of what I'm going to say will probably cause you to react in some sort of way. This topic and the direction the housing market is headed seems to be something that everyone has an opinion about. So let me know what yours is down in the comments below. Let's start with interest rates and how they have continued to rise and their effect on affordability, which is really the reason they're getting so much attention. Well, that and they were just 3% last year. Even during the pandemic boom, there was talk about the lack of affordability. But now, with interest rates rising like they have been, this is making affordability even worse. And this is why everyone felt like we were going to start seeing our housing prices come down and why everyone was expecting a crash. Because in general, if interest rates are rising or increasing, the housing market slows down. When interest rates are going up, the cost of owning a home becomes more expensive because of the interest rate, and this reduces demand. This reduction in demand then results in a drop in home prices. However, that is not what is happening. Interest rates are going up, but home prices are not coming down. And the short answer as to why home prices are not coming down is that we have a lack of inventory. But the real question everyone wants to know is, where are the interest rates going? And the reality is, no one knows. All you can do is look at historical data, then make the best educated decision for your individual needs, because this is not a one-size-fits-all. Because when it comes to predicting where the interest rates are going, you can literally look at every single analyst out there and see a different number. I mean, look at the huge spread of projected interest rates for the second half of 2023 coming from multiple people. This information comes from an article written for the Mortgage Report, and the rates range from 5.25% all the way to 7.75%. That is a huge swing. Mark Hammock, Bankrate's senior economic analyst, said this: "This move back up through the 7% level has been rapid and somewhat surprising, adding insult to injury for those already struggling with housing affordability. We might not yet be at peak for mortgage rates given recent economic momentum and lack of clarity on the Federal Reserve policy." And Lauren Shun, chief economist at the National Association of Realtors, said the path of rates depends on the 10-year Treasury yields and on what the Fed does at its September 20th meeting. We are at a critical juncture. Mortgage rates can either break higher, up to 8%, or lower to 6.5%. What this has done to the market is it has decreased the number of overall transactions that we have seen so far this year. So although we have not seen prices decline, the overall number of sold homes has declined. And in an attempt to encourage more people to get back into the market, Zillow has just released a new program. This would allow people to put 1% down payment on their home, and Zillow would put the additional 2%. Now, I'm going to apologize for this rant right now, but I think this is a terrible idea. Now, I am all for people buying and owning homes, but allowing them to put 1% down on a home is just ridiculous. Remember what happened the last time lenders got creative? It didn't end well. In my opinion, this is just another carrot to dangle in front of buyers to make them think that it's a good idea. But with such little equity in your house, one bad turn and you are immediately upside down in your home. And lucky us, Zillow has started this program off in Arizona. Now, if you are a buyer thinking about this program, I caution you heavily. Let's not forget that Zillow lost $880 million trying to flip homes in a red-hot market. I see this as another way for them to climb out of the hole that they already dug. This time, it's at the buyer's expense. Now, all of this is coming into play because Zillow has such a bullish view on the overall real estate market. According to Fortune, back in February, Zillow's housing economist made a bold call that U.S. home prices had bottomed and would proceed to climb 0.5% over the next 12 months. However, its latest revision predicts that U.S. home prices will rise 6.5% between July 2023 and July 2024, up from the 6.3% call it made last month. Zillow is not alone in their thoughts on where the market is headed. However, they are the most bullish. Even Goldman Sachs analysts don't believe that the housing market is going to fall this year. Instead, they are forecasting a slight increase. We are revising our home price forecast higher to 1.8% for full year 2023 versus negative 2.2% prior and 3.5% in 2024 versus 2.8% prior. These forecasts imply home prices will remain roughly unchanged through the year end and then return to trend growth levels in 2024. All of these change predictions have happened because the number of homes we have to sell has remained so low. This is also why, even though demand has fallen, home prices haven't, and why sellers aren't really feeling that much pressure because their home is still receiving multiple offers. I just recently had a buyer make an offer on the house. There were 5 other offers, and we did not get that home. Then one of the other homes that they also liked when we saw it, that also had gotten multiple offers and went under contract, fell out of escrow and went temporarily off the market so that the seller could take care of a few of the items that was on the inspection report why the home fell out of escrow. During that time, I reached out to the agent, found out what we needed to find out, and before the home even went back on the market, there were multiple offers on the home. Again, we got the house and my clients are now under contract. I also want to say they are very loyal viewers of my channel, so I just wanted to say to them, hi. Multiple offers are happening more and more frequently, and it's purely a supply and demand issue. And why do we not have as much supply? Well, you start hearing this phrase called the locked-in effect. The idea of the lock-in effect is that homeowners are reluctant to sell their properties and buy something new due to the financial shock that would come with losing their historically low mortgage rates for something with a 6% or 7% handle. You can see from this map just how drastically low some of the inventory is in certain cities. Now, some states seeing a significant decrease in the number of listings are Austin, Texas, which is down 31%, Phoenix, which is down 47%, Seattle, Tacoma is down 36%, Las Vegas is down 51%, and the largest decrease is Topeka, Kansas, down almost 57% in their overall listings. According to Realtor.com, there was 26% fewer homes listed for sale in June 2023 than in June of 2022, and 28.9% fewer than 2019. Arizona is facing all the same challenges: rising interest rates, shrinking inventory, and higher prices. Yet our market has remained really strong. Why? Because it has all been offset by the number of residents actually moving into the state. Now, if you're needing help either buying or selling real estate, take a look at that pinned comment down below. Reach out to me. I will personally connect you with someone if I'm not the one that can help you. Now, I know people are still continuing to talk about a housing market crash, but it's because of these 5 simple reasons that we are not heading for a crash. In fact, it's actually reversing the other direction than most people thought. And as we've talked about, the first reason is because our inventory is still so low. We have gone from a 1.7% month supply from early 2022 to now having about 3.1 months supply in the overall market. To put this into perspective, if you have more than 6 months inventory on the market at any one time, then it's considered a buyer's market. If you have less than 6 months inventory, then it's considered a seller's market. So with the limited number of homes for sale, buyers just don't have a lot of selection, which is why home prices are being bid up and there's multiple offers. And this is across all price points, by the way. This is also telling us just how powerful the supply and demand equation actually is. And this just won't let prices crash in the near future. The second reason is builders didn't build enough homes to support the demand. And honestly, they still can't keep up. After the housing crisis, most builders pulled way back. They did not want to get caught out again. And honestly, I can't blame them. But we are now seeing the effects of that lack of building. The other reason is we have demographic changes that are creating new buyers. Now, there has always been a strong demand for homes. Many Americans who already owned a home during the pandemic decided to sell their home and buy a bigger home, especially with the rise from work from home. Now we have the millennials, which is a huge group, and they are all in their prime buying years, as well as Hispanics, which is a growing number of home buyers. Another reason is all that predatory lending was stopped. Gone are the days are the stated income or interest-only loans, which were really just adding money to your principal. Today, lenders have tough standards, and buyers have to have great credit and show they have income. Greg McBride, Bankrate's chief financial analyst, said, if lending standards loosen and we go back to the wild, wild west days of 2004 to 2006, then that is a whole different animal. If we start to see prices being bid up by the artificial buying power of loose lending standards, that's when we worry about a crash. But that is not what we are seeing right now. And then there's the fact that foreclosure activity is extremely low. Most homeowners have a very comfortable equity cushion in their home. Lenders were not filing default notices during the height of the pandemic, which pushed foreclosures to a record low in 2020. Even with the foreclosure moratorium, when everyone thought as soon as that ended, we'd have this flood of foreclosures come on the market, it just didn't happen. Yes, there has been a slight uptick in foreclosures since then, but that was historically low, and we are still well below what we were before the pandemic. Now, if you like this video, make sure you take a look at this one, where I talk about the major drop in luxury home sales and how it's affecting the market. As always, I thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.